Drawing sample 3. In this tutorial, we will learn how to create like a preparation for photo album slideshow in Flash. And as you see, here we have a frame border for our images, a background rectangle, and buttons for next and the previous. Simply we will work with the rectangle tool until to reach like this layout. We will create the new document, Flash document, Control 2 to show all or show frame. Then we will start with the background rectangle. Here is the rectangle tool and we can create our drawing. A rectangle with the dimensions of our movie. And we can control our rectangle's dimensions numerically so as to adjust to a proper values to our document. Our document is 550 pixels by 400, and we can set our rectangle to these values simply by assigning like a value in the property palette. For the width 550, for the height 400. Also we can set the x and y's to adjust for the coordinates, the starting point. To modify the gradient angle, we can use the fill transform. We can also zoom out so as to control our gradient fill simpler. I can rotate now the fill. It's only the fill that rotates when I drag for rotation using the gradient transform fill. In a new layer, I will create my picture's frame border that can be like this. Our gradient fill can be the reverse. The reverse also using the fill transform tool. We can scale until to reach a good transformation. And regarding the next and the previous buttons, we can create also using the rectangle tool. And here I want to direct you to an important note. When you work with layers, you have the choice to create a new layer to be freely creating your new drawings. Otherwise, you have to care about not to interact objects together. So for now, it's more safe to create your drawings in separate layers. For the next button, I can create a simple rectangle. This rectangle you can select simply by double click, and note I am now dragging my drawing outside the scene. Not to touch any of the drawings in the other layers. I can rotate my rectangle. When I press shift, it will come with 45 angles increments. Then I want to cut the half of this square. Simply using the selection tool, I can drag from outside until to reach the half part. Like this, then I can press delete. As a result, as you see, I can have one edge lost from the stroke. And I can add this simply using the ink bottle tool when I click for that edge. Now I can go to assign for a different gradient colors. Here in the color mixer, I can use a red color, for example. Another red color for this side, and a lighter one in the middle. So as we can feel a gradient or a light effect inside the arrow. Also, I can keep transforming the gradient colors when I click with the gradient transform tool. Simple rotation can give me a horizontal direction. Control 2 to show all. I can continue with transforming my arrow to reach a good size. For example, like this one. Using the selection tool, I can move my next button, and to take the copy for the previous one, I can edit copy or Control C from the keyboard, then edit paste in place to make sure it's pasting in the same place to keep the vertical alignment. Then, after little movement with the arrow tool or shift and arrow tool from the keyboard, I can assign for transform flip horizontal. And now I have the two buttons for next and previous.